So last night, I guess early this morning, in fact, Square Enix held an event where they celebrated the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, which, geez, 20 years since Kingdom Hearts came out. I think I was in high school when that game first released, so feeling pretty ancient about that for sure. They announced several game projects, some mobile stuff, one mobile game in particular that looked pretty good. It looked like a real game, but unfortunately, it is still a mobile game, so at least to me, it's worthless. It's called Missing Link, and there is actually going to be a beta for it in 2022, so if you are someone who is interested in that, if you like to play the stupid little phone games, you may want to check that out. But then we also had a real game announced. Not a mobile game, not a spin-off even, a real mainline Kingdom Hearts entry. Something that I wouldn't have thought was coming at least anytime soon. I mean, after the insane wait we just had for Kingdom Hearts 3, this seems unreal. But yeah, it was a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. A bit of a spoiler for 3, Sora wakes up in, well, pretty much the real world, or what looks to be the real world. If you played through 3, I think it was, like, I can't remember if you had to, 100% it, or you had to, complete some certain quests, but there was, a during the credits or after the credits sequence where he wakes up in what appeared to be real-world Shibuya. They call it in the trailer the Quadratum, and it's mentioned that it's like an afterworld, but yeah, at face value, it looks just like our normal real world. In fact, I saw some people saying it kind of reminded them of the Unreal tech demo, the Matrix tech demo they did, with just anime characters running around, and I'd be inclined to agree a little bit. So yeah, things look pretty normal until Darkside Man shows up and just starts chucking cars around. Sora charges him in his fresh new kicks that are actual normal shoes that fit him. I think that was by far the wildest thing about this trailer for me. Not seeing Sora in his obnoxious, over-the-top clown shoes. We see him do some insane parkour action. This is supposed to at least look, it's presented like gameplay, but who really knows what the final product will look like when we get it in, 12 years or so. I do think the overall graphical style is impressive, quality-wise, it looks a lot like the Final Fantasy VII remake. Even if you didn't like that game, okay, come on, it looked good, you gotta at least admit that. But this is certainly weird for Kingdom Hearts. Even Sora, who is a human character and has been kind of redesigned to fit this environment, seeing him in this almost photo-real world is strange just because of what my mind thinks of when I think Kingdom Hearts. And I can't even imagine Donald Duck and Goofy running around this place. But that might not be the case, or at least for the majority of this game, they may be going with a different approach. We get a tease of this forest area for the game. Again, quality-wise, looks amazing. And it appears to be Endor from Star Wars. People have been posting pictures comparing the trees, foliage, and that from this trailer to shots on Endor. But the dead giveaway, I think, in this is this shot where they straight up just have an ATST foot in the background. Doesn't get much more clear than that, at least for me. Star Wars itself, with all its lore, could offer up a ton of possibilities. Star Wars isn't probably something you just have a one-off world with. And it is something that makes sense with this more realistic route they're going in. I definitely think the focus is going to be on live-action properties. But even still, myself, just imagining Sora, even this Sora, standing next to a photorealistic Luke Skywalker, I don't know, guys, how much I'm feeling that. Again, it could certainly look better in reality than what I'm picturing, but I don't know. Definitely, though, I would assume that's going to be the route they're going for with this game. More live-action characters. They even have a sequence in the trailer where some of the Organization 13 members are he's stuck in this world and can't go back to his, something like that. And I'm assuming this world, what they're referring to is, this almost real world, and his world, Sora's world, is the more animated one. I definitely need to see more of this before I decide even how I feel about it. There are definitely a lot of possibilities with a focus on live action, and beyond even the Disney stuff, I think it'd be nice if this opened the door for more Final Fantasy characters to be at the forefront, since, Final Fantasy characters it'll be easier for them to fit in more than a lot of those animated Disney ones. There was a Square Enix character who previously told Sora that he'd see him in Shibuya. Will we see him in this style? But yeah, I'm definitely curious at how all that will actually look meshed together. And I'm not saying, I want to be clear, that I don't think there will be any animated characters or even worlds in this game. You even have Donald and Goofy at the very end of this trailer walking around this dark space saying they're looking for somebody. It appears the tease at the end makes it seem like it's Hades. So clearly there's another storyline with them going on here. And that could be a thing too. Like, there could be Sora doing this real world stuff while Donald, Goofy, and perhaps other characters from the series are off doing other stuff in more animated type settings. So that's something I'd consider as well. Because yeah, I don't think I'd be into a whole game, a whole Kingdom Hearts game being set in these realistic environments. Like, I don't think, it wouldn't feel like Kingdom Hearts. It'd be kind of like Mario Odyssey, right? I love New Donk City, but I don't want a whole Mario game that looks like New Donk City. Again, even though it is animated to fit Mario, but it's like, it still looks a little off. I wouldn't want a whole Mario game that looks like that. But there are obviously a ton of routes they could go with live action that I'm sure many fans would be interested in. And like I said, Star Wars itself seems a lock and could offer up a ton of content itself, but of course, if they're bringing in Star Wars, you got to assume Marvel is on the table. You've already got Square Enix making a bunch of Marvel games lately. Not all of them are that good, but they are making them. So when you consider that, it just makes sense. I could easily see the tentpole, like Avengers characters making an appearance, having a New York, a real-world kind of level like they showed with Shibuya. I'll admit, seeing Sora go up against Thanos, that'd be pretty wild. So I'm definitely interested in this game. Like, I'll be following it for sure. I'll almost assuredly pick it up, let's be honest, because I'm just that much of a Disney shill, but I can't say I'm super excited for this. Definitely not like I was for 3. I'm in the camp of feeling like 3 was a letdown, and I know it was one of those games that was hyped up so much for so long that, like, it was never going to meet expectations, but I don't know, it just doesn't hit like the previous games did, in my opinion. It felt like they were more restricted with what they could do with stuff. Some badass moments for sure, but overall, I wasn't the biggest fan. So going into this, I feel like we're coming off of the weakest game in terms of the mainline ones, and I don't know how I'm feeling about this realistic look. Like, I'd really have to see, again, a longer gameplay trailer that shows off more of the worlds with Sora actually moving through them, fighting enemies. Like, are the Heartless going to be running around in that Star Wars world? What does that look like? And in general, I gotta say, Square Enix just has been kind of off their game, at least in my opinion. Speaking of Disney live-action properties, the Avengers game, that was a miserable failure. And then it's like, they followed it up with this Guardians of the Galaxy one that I actually thought was good, but because the Avengers one was so bad, people kind of brushed off the Guardians of the Galaxy one. The new Final Fantasy game that's coming out, I don't even know what number we're on now, 16? I'm way less excited for that than I should be. So yeah, while I'd like to be fanboying over this, love Kingdom Hearts, love Disney, love Star Wars, but I don't know, I have to see more of it to really get excited about it. I am intrigued though. I'm not trying to straight up hate on this trailer or the announcement. I think, again, the quality of what was shown definitely looks strong, and there are, again, a lot of cool things they could do by going this route, but I'm cautious about it as well. Anyway, with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on this big new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 in the comments. Are you excited for the game? Are you surprised it's coming at all? As always, I'm the Shy Guy, Johnny Zakari, and thanks for watching.